Hi, it is Sylvan from Sylvan's Way, and today I am doing another VR, another hashtag. Now, I normally record during the day with beautiful light coming through my two windows that are right in front of me here, and I don't have any problem when I'm doing with my light source. But today I am using one of those round, like, donut like lights, and it's kind of casting a shadows. Look at that shadow on my hands. So hopefully the video will work out okay. If not, I'm going to have to find another light source for doing any type of recordings at night. But anyway, that is a personal problem of mine. So I am doing a hashtag VR called Show Us Your Decks Again. Thank you very much, Angel from Feeding My Soul 1212. She came out with another grouping of 15 decks to answer 15 prompts. And the last one, I had so much fun doing it that, of course, I have to do it again. So let's get started. Let's make the space nice and clear. Okay, so the first deck is number 1, a deck with a quote on the inside of the box. And so the one that I found was a new one that I just added to my collection. It's called the Earthcraft Oracle. And this is by Juliet Diaz and Lorraine Anderson. And the art is by Danielle Boudou Fortain. Fortain, I think, is how you say it. But on the inside of this box, it says, Earth Mother, I worship thee. For thy body is my temple, my religion reclaimed. Isn't that gorgeous? I mean, I had to get it. This deck is just such a perfect summer deck that when I was looking for decks for summer, I had to get it. It's got the bright, beautiful colors. It's got some keywords now, it has titles, and sometimes I wish these titles were more like keywords. So ceremony, things like that, darkness. But, I haven't used it yet, but the cards still are absolutely gorgeous. I love the artwork. The images, the colors, everything just screams summer to me. So I got it for my summer deck or my summer oracle, and we'll see how it works out. And so that was a deck with a quote on the inside of the box. So that is the Earthcraft Oracle. Okay, so that's the first prompt. Second prompt is a deck with a damaged box or card. And that is this illustrated herbology collectible box set. I had gotten this as a gift, and I was very sad when I opened it, and I didn't want to say anything, but the box, it came like this. Oh, wow. These boxes are so stupid. Why do they do this? I mean, obviously they are not like this. Look at how thin. This paper is. This is not going to last. I mean, sure, the presentation of it is pretty and all that kind of stuff, but it's definitely, I guess they just never thought that we would keep the cards in the original box that it came in. Otherwise, this is an absolutely stunning deck. It is so pretty. If I can get it out here, it came with this little bag too, but it's so pretty, and I really do like it. It's such a nice summer type deck that I got. Oops, looks like I got the cards upside down. But I really do like it. It's really a lovely deck. It's absolutely gorgeous. However, the box totally sucks. So I wasn't so happy with that. But, you know, I mean, I've talked about another box that I got that was used and I didn't say anything, you know, because that's just the way I roll. And so when getting this as a gift, I didn't want to say, oh, hey, the box came damaged. Can you let me know where you got it from so I can get a replacement? Oh, and it came with this beautiful book. I mean, this is gorgeous. Just absolutely gorgeous. Even the presentation of it within the box is gorgeous. It's just a really cheap insert inside of the box. So that is my deck with a damaged box or card. So it's really not the outside. See, I don't know what happened because the outside of the box is not damaged at all. So I don't know how the inside of it got damaged, but it did. So anyway, the next one is a number 3, a deck with one or several renamed cards. And of course I had to use this one. And by the way, in all of these prompts, I did try to find only decks that are summer-like decks. I wanted to keep it within that theme. And I think only like one of the decks is not really, maybe 2 isn't really summery. 1 is definitely not summery. The other one, it's questionable. But so I tried to keep these all summer decks because it's, you know, it's June. So I wanted to have summer decks. Anyway, so back to our prompt. A deck with several renamed cards. And that is the Terrestrial Tide Tarot. And what's super awesome about this deck, not only is it the card size, but the suits and the court cards are renamed, and they tell you that right in the top of the box. I mean, how fabulous is that? I mean, like, seriously, I think like other manufacturers need to take a clue and say, hey, if I'm gonna rename the court cards and the suit, I should at least make it easy for people to find it so they don't have to go digging through a guidebook. So just to show you a couple of the cards, this is such an interesting deck. It's a really, really fun. All of the, this is my punk rock deck from the 80s, 90s, more like 90s really. My husband, when he saw it, he was like, oh my gosh, that looks just like the band flyers that we used to make. So, of course, you know, I had to get it. And, you know, it is kind of summery with this bright green on it. I mean, come on, that's summer. So, anyway, that is my deck with one or several renamed cards. And how about the whole thing pretty much being renamed? So, we got that one. There we go. Okay, our number 4, a deck with reversible backs. So a deck with reversible backs is the Bonefire Tarot, and this is exactly what the back looks like. And what could be more summer than Bonefire Tarot? Look at this awesome deck. So these are the reversible backs. Look at that. Pretty awesome. Nice red sides. And look at that. That is such a summer deck. So this is the Bonefire Tarot. I think this is, second edition. So it's the second edition, which I like because it's the smaller cards and it has the borders cut off of it. So of course, when they came out with that, I had to get this one. I liked it so much better than the other one. But this screams summer to me. And it's got reversible backs. Though that doesn't really matter to me because I don't read reversals, so to speak. If a card reads negative, it's usually because of the placement of where the card is in the spread or because of the question that was asked. But you know, if you wanted to use reversibles with this one, you could. Okay, so I'm not going to show you all the cards because this really is about the back. Okay, put that back in the box. Look at this red on the inside of this box. Isn't that stinking awesome? I love this deck. Okay, let's see, the 5th deck. So the 5th prompt is a deck with a star on the box. And I got this deck right here. And look at these stars. That's legit stars on this deck. Look at that. Look at these. Look at these stars. Stars everywhere. Stars, stars, stars. And I'm sure opening it up, we're going to see a ton of stars on the cards as well. And this again is an absolute summer type deck. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. I mean, maybe I will. Tarot de los Tres. My husband can pronounce it. He told me how to say it like probably 20 times. I don't know how to say it. But anyway, so there's tons of stars all through this deck. It is 100% a summer deck and perfect for this particular prompt. So I'm not going to go through all of these because it is about the stars on the outside of the box. You know, I know people complain about little tuck boxes, but you know what? They're almost sometimes, as long as they're not super tight, they're one of the easiest things to get cards in and out of. And they store nicely in little bags. Okay. Number 6. A deck with no or few people in the minors. And I feel like I'm kind of cheating because I just got this deck in with my card, oh my gosh, my card subscription, my card deck subscription through Hay House. So I don't know how many people have this particular tarot. So I kind of feel like I'm cheating, but not really, because I really do. I have it in my hands, but it's the MindScapes Tarot. There is absolutely no people in this deck anywhere. So when we look through this deck, let's find some minors. Look at that. There's no people. There's some animals, not very many animals, and there's things that people live in, but there are no people in this deck. It's just landscapes. Well, you know, I guess that's kind of like a person. They're really far off. It's more about the landscape, but I guess there is some, but you can barely see them. So they don't really count. They don't count. Those people don't count. So that is the MindScapes Tarot, and the thing is a deck with no or few people in the minors. So, and this is a very summery deck too. So I'm still on theme for my summer decks. It's almost like this hashtag has turned into a VR as well as a summer deck hashtag. Okay. So the next one is a deck that doesn't have a person in the Fool card. So I chose the 5-cent tarot. You know, this deck I have had for stinking ever. And I mean, like literally probably one of the longest first decks I've ever gotten. And there is the Fool, and it's got a frog on it. Matter of fact, this is a card deck that is animal and plant based, so there are absolutely no people in this deck whatsoever. It's actually a more expensive deck. I got it from Etsy a long time ago, and I got it because I thought that if it had all of these keywords on it, and with the reversals, because it's kind of cool, like cold of heart, and then critical, narrow-minded, and then clear of mind, honest, and unbiased is the Queen of Needles. So I thought that it would be really easy to use these cards, but I didn't have the fundamentals that I really needed to start reading, or maybe I just didn't have the confidence, so to speak, to start reading. So even with these cards, with all these hints, I really shied away from it and struggled. I was on the struggle bus, definitely on the struggle bus. But so yeah, one of my oldest decks as well, and it feels very summery. I mean, with this bright yellow, the gray doesn't really lend to it, but you know, the animals and the plants lend to summer, that's for sure. So that is my 5-cent tarot, and it's a Fool card without a person on the Fool card. Get those in there. I don't feel like I'm the nicest to my cards. Okay, so my next one is number 8. And number 8 is a deck with your favorite box design. And that is the Outlaw Oracle. And it's because it looks like a box of cigarettes. I know, gross, right? Totally gross. But the funny thing about this is the reason I got this is that this box reminds me of my father. Now, my father is still alive. It's not like I don't have my father with me anymore. But when I use this deck, everything about it reminds me of my father. He used to smoke Marlboros and drink Pabst Blue Ribbon and watch country western movies on TV. He would come home and turn off the lights, you know, because of headaches or whatever, and play country music and lay down in the living room. It was just, I don't know, it feels like my dad. This deck feels like my dad. So this box design that looks like a pack of cigarettes is actually a good memory for me. I know it's weird. And so that is why it's my favorite box design. Not because it's easy, not because it stores the cards the best, not because of any of those reasons. It's simply because it reminds me of my dad and it's good memories. So that was my prompt number 8. So a prompt number 9 is a deck you've made a 180-degree turnaround about because anticipated purchase fell flat or lukewarm feelings about the deck, and then absolutely loved it once you received it and worked with it. So that for me was the Enchanted Forhaxa Tarot. I avoided this deck like the plague. I really, really did. And I love MJ's decks. I actually have a huge collection. I'm going to eventually do a video of all of my MJ decks. I actually have a new one coming in. Ooh, look, that could have been one of the quote on the inside: a wild and magical realm hidden deep within the forest where shadows mingle with sunlight, fairies flutter, and mermaids swim. Ooh. But I was like, oh my gosh, those are so ugly. Those are the ugliest fairies I have ever seen. And I did not think that I would like this deck at all. However, I had collected most of her decks. And then this was super cheap on Hay House. I think it was like $12. And I was like, I gotta get it. I gotta complete my collection. I mean, like literally, I got this deck to put in a collection. I really just never thought that I was gonna open it up and go through the cards and actually fall in love with them. And I did. I opened this up and I was like, Oh my God, if fairies were real, this is what fairies would be like. I really, I really thought that. Like, as soon as I saw it. But yeah, I watched a bunch of walkthroughs and everything else. And every time I did, I was like, ooh, those are ugly. Those are so ugly. But for some reason, seeing it in person made all of the difference in the world. And now I absolutely love this deck. So this deck is the deck that I made 180 turn degree about. I still can't believe it. I really can't believe it. I haven't used it a lot. I need to work with it. And I have other decks that I'm working with, so I haven't had a chance. But it's definitely on my radar. And I love this deck now. I really think it's pretty. So that is my deck that I made 180 degree on it. So that's that one. Next, number 10. I feel like I'm really running through these. This is great. Last time I felt like I was taking forever, but I'm trying to be faster about it now. So number 10, a deck with an even major on the box artwork, like the High Priestess, the Emperor, the Lovers, Strength, Wheel, etc. And that was, for me, the Witch's Garden. And I was just sitting here thinking, oh my gosh, I hope it's an even number. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Let's see. What do we got? It's not. I failed at this. The picture that I chose out is the Magician, and it's a 1. And that's what's on the front of the box. And so oh no, I did this one wrong. I did it wrong. Oh well, that's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. Sometimes you get it wrong. And it took me so long to go and find all of these decks. I'm sorry. I'm just not going to get up and go in the other room and start searching through all of my decks again. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that. I missed that little point of being an even number. Oh, well. Well, I guess nobody else will be showing this deck then. Unless they make the same mistake. Because, I mean, seriously, how many decks are out there that have an even number on a major that is on the front of the box? Angel, you got me. You got me on that one. So anyway, I'm not going to go through the entire deck. I'm just sitting here laughing at myself that I missed a key point. Listen, folks, when you do these things, you've got to be thorough in the way that you read the information. So, okay. Well, better luck next time. Okay, so our next one is number 11. So number 11, a deck on your tarot shelf storage area with the box title facing the opposite direction from the others. And for me, that was the Morbid Mirror Oracle because it was facing this way. And all of my other decks were facing like this way. So the other decks are all facing that way. And for some reason, this one is facing that way. And I was like, well, why would I do that? I'm really good about putting my decks away and having them all facing the same direction because I'm anal retentive like that. And so I looked at the other side of the box and I realized that it doesn't say MMO. And because it didn't say MMO, I put it that way. So that is the reason that this deck was facing the wrong direction on my shelf. It's so funny. You find out like the most interesting things when you do different prompts like this, things that you would just never expect to go look for. So I don't know, Angel, how you came up with these questions, but it's absolutely hilarious that I don't think I would have noticed that about this particular box if you had not had me do that prompt. And the other thing that I want to point out is that this is the deck. Remember I said all my other decks are summer decks except for one. So this is my one deck that is not a summer deck that is in the entire collection that I'm showing you today. However, this is the only deck out of everything in my collection that was facing the wrong way. So I didn't have any other choices if I wanted to stay honest with the decks that I showed during this particular video. So anyway, so that is the Morbid Mirror Oracle, and the outside of the box, it only says MMO facing that way, and I needed to face that way. Okay, so our next prompt is number 12, oh sorry, 10, 12, a lonely deck, a deck you don't store with other decks. And I immediately knew which one. So I don't know if it's really considered lonely because I actually really do look at it. And it is the Herbal Tea Magic for the Modern Witch Oracle deck by Elsie Wild. And this particular deck, I make my own tea. I actually have a bunch of herbs and a bunch of different kinds of teas, and I like to mix and brew my own tea. So I have a shelf that has all of my herbal books on it and all of my tea books on it, and I actually store this deck with all of that other stuff. So, and occasionally I open this up and I look through it, especially when I'm making a tea blend for a purpose, because you may notice on each one of these cards, it gives you the some keywords for that particular item that is on the card. So if I'm looking for a tea to make that's going to be about new beginnings, I would make a white tea. And then I would look for another one, like I might want to do a celebration. So I might add white tea with lemon verbena and do a blend like that. So it's one of the ways that I include the different herbs and things for magical purposes when I make my teas. So that is my deck that sits alone by itself on a shelf, but it's with all of the other tea books and the herbal books, and I actually do reference it quite a bit. So I don't know if I would say it's actually lonely, because it probably gets more attention than many other decks that I have in my collection. Okay, so the next one is number 13, a deck you associate with the current season. And so I chose the Oracle of the Roses. And, roses are gorgeous. And we bought our house about 6 months ago. And this is our very first summer here. And behind our house, we actually have a bunch of roses. A bunch of rose plants. There's like 4 or 5 of them. They're all the same kind. I think that they are, I forget. They're like a hot pink rose. I think it might be something like this Sweet Blair rose, because it's not one of those tight roses. It's more of a old English rose kind of thing. But anyway, so the reason I'm telling you the story about the roses that are behind my house is My husband comes in yesterday and says to me, please don't be mad at me, but I accidentally mowed over one of the rose bushes. so, so he comes in and he has taken out a rose bush. I don't know how it happened, but evidently he got he got too close to the rose bush while mowing the grass on the riding lawnmower, because we have like a half an acre. So we got him a riding lawnmower to mow the grass. And he got stuck on a rose bush and took it out. So not only is roses of the season of summer, but roses are of the killing season of the summer, because my husband took a bush out. So which is okay. It's fine. It's fine. I'm not upset about it at all, because I was telling him that I think that those rose bushes have probably been there 20 years and they're really scraggly looking and not maintained or taken care of. So we should probably pull them out or move them or do something with them. So I was actually thinking about doing something with those roses anyway. So long story short, the Oracle of the Roses is my pick for a deck that reminds me of the season. And then also a funny story about my husband. Okay, so we're moving along. Number 14, a deck with your favorite animal, where your favorite animal makes an appearance. Well, I got a funny thing for you. I got a deck that has all my favorite animals on every single card. And that is the Wise Dog Tarot by MJ. I told you I love MJ. So this is my second MJ deck. I actually had to hold myself back from showing other MJ decks for the other prompts. I was like, no. I can't show every single one of my MJ decks. But so this is a dog deck, and I love dogs. My husband is always making fun of me because anytime we are out, I am not a person that will pay attention to anybody's children. But if you have a dog, I am asking to say hi to your dog. Matter of fact, many times I say hi to the dog before I say hi to the person. So I am truly a dog lover. So this is a deck of all of my favorite animals all in one. So it's all these different cute puppies that MJ put together. And this is one of her older decks. And I love it. It's great. It's just a great deck with all these great guys in here. And if you're wondering what dogs I have, what kind of dogs do I have a Pekingese and I have a pug. Well, he's not really a pug. He's like a mixed pug. So he's like pug and chihuahua. We're really not sure. He's got like longer, skinny stick legs. We always tell people he is our Dr. Seuss dog because he looks like a pug, but something ain't right about him. So that's my dogs that I have. So anyway, that is my number 14 deck, a deck in which your favorite animal makes an appearance. And my favorite animal is dogs. I love my dogs. I mean, I love all sorts of animals. Like, I love bunny rabbits. I love birds. I love deer. I love, cats. I'm an animal lover. I'm a forest animal lover. Any day of the week, I will take animals and the forest over people any day of the week. So anyway, so the last prompt, number 15, we made it to the end. And this is a deck with a rainbow, either on the box or in the cards. And so, of course, I had to do the Alchemy of the Spirit because there is a rainbow right here. And I think pretty much almost every, maybe not every card, but there are many cards in here that have rainbows. Let's see if we can find some rainbows. Watch, call me a liar. Maybe it's just rainbow colored. And nope, nope, nope. Okay, so, oh, hey, there it is. But I think that's the picture that's on the front of the box. Yep. That's the picture on the front of the box. But hey, we have a rainbow on the front of the box. So there you go. And of course, some of my favorite animals are in here too, like squirrels and sheep and elephants and crows and owls and bears and chickens. I mean, I love all of these animals. So this, right? Oh, hey, there's another rainbow. We got another rainbow. And this is one of my and there's a rainbow in the background. So hey, there is plenty of rainbows in this deck as well. Rainbow. There we go. Rainbow. I'm getting all excited because I'm finding all the rainbows. At first I was like, oh my gosh, there's not that many rainbows in here. But there is. There's actually rainbows in here. But anyway, I was going to say this is like my favorite, all-time favorite Oracle deck. I had to force myself to stop using it after 2 months of using it as my nightly draw. But I didn't want to. I didn't want to give it up. But I need to use all of my Oracle decks, and I couldn't if I was just going to sit and use this one forever. But this is a great deck. I love it. I highly recommend this deck. Okay, so we made it through 15 prompts, and we kept all of them summer prompts or summer decks except for one. So I think I did pretty good. I was able to answer all of them except, again, for one. Okay, so 2 decks didn't work out in my lineup. No, because I got the wrong deck. Remember, I got the wrong picture. But anyway, it's okay. It's fine. That's what this whole thing is about, right? He's doing these hashtags and VRs. It's about having fun, and it was really I laugh at myself for getting the wrong deck for that. So anyway. Thank you, Angel. Thank you so much for putting out another great hashtag with some great questions, and it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. For any of you out there that haven't done this yet, it is super fun to do while you sit there with piles of tarot and oracle decks piled up around you while you're trying to find decks that answer these questions and these prompts. What I'll do for you is I will put all of the prompts below so that you can easily find at least the prompts. Maybe not the decks, but you can find the prompts quickly. I hope you enjoyed this. I appreciate you. Thanks for making it this far, listening to my silliness, and being a part of my YouTube channel. I really appreciate it. Until next time, thank you. Bye.